This is CBC Here and Now.
Tonight, who said what and when about Muskrat Falls, and have they changed their story?
When you see this report, you'll question why we are in the situation we are in today.
If you want reality TV, it doesn't get more real than this. Everybody's watching this Osprey Family Live video.
Very expensive. Can't afford to buy meat.
Yeah.
Unless it's on sale.
Grocery prices chewing up your wallet? We'll learn how it's affecting your budget.
Well, there's a whole lot of fabulous in the forecast for tomorrow, but then some rain on the way. The details are coming up.
Well, tonight we start with Muskrat Falls and dig deeper into the warnings contained in that secret 2013 Nalcor report.
The report was released by the Premier's office on Friday as Nalcor announced the price of the project now tops almost $13 billion. Here and Now's Peter Cowan has that story.
Now that Muskrat Falls is almost $4 billion over budget and electricity rates are set to double, politicians of all stripes are eager to convince the public it's not their fault. On Friday, the Premier released this 2013 confidential report. It was done by SNC-Lavalin, and it was warning that the project was high risk and costs were likely to escalate. The current Minister of Natural Resources now wants to know why more wasn't done then to prevent cost overruns now.
They could have stopped, they could have changed, they could have ensured the risks were thoroughly analyzed and mitigated. When you see this report, you'll question why we are in the situation we are in today.
The report warned there were big risks to the then $6.2 billion price tag, and that price was likely to go higher. It found most of the risks were very high. The very high represents 90% of the total identified risks from the Lower Churchill project. This is unusual for a project in execution. This indicates that many risks are foreseen to occur during the execution phase and could materialize and cause the project to deviate from its schedule and baseline. It warned the project could go $2.4 billion over budget. Today, that overrun is much higher. Turns out that very high was very right. Months after Nalcor had this report, its CEO was still insisting publicly that it had things under control.
Some are up, somewhat, some are down. So we haven't got a total fix on the capital yet. I would feel some upward pressure there, but I don't think it's hugely significant at this point.
And what about the political masters at the time? Paul Davis was in cabinet then and later became premier, but says this is all news to him.
I don't remember seeing the report. I don't know what report they're talking about. But there's a lot of half pieces of information, provided today.
So what did Nalcor do with this report? Well, today's a provincial holiday, so I didn't get an answer to that question. And if you're wondering, why did this come out 4 years after it was written? Well, the current Premier, Dwight Ball, insists he only found out about it last week. Peter Cowan, CBC News, St. John's.
The cost of Muskrat Falls isn't the only thing going up. Have you noticed your grocery bill lately? Prices are creeping upwards, and shoppers are figuring out how to keep their cash in their pockets. Here Now's Nakshi Pandit reports.
As you walk down the grocery aisle, there are two things on your mind: what to buy and how much it will cost. And when you get to the meat section, there may be a bit of a sticker shock.
Very expensive. Can't afford to buy meat.
Yeah.
Unless it's on sale. And of course, that's what people do, and me included. Look for the sales every week and pick up sales whenever you can.
According to a new food price report by Dalhousie University, many more people can expect to do the same. While prices for vegetables, dairy, eggs, and fish are expected to decrease, meat prices will increase between 7% and 9% in the coming months. Overall, your grocery bill is set to increase by $420 this year. So what does that mean if you're trying to fill one of these? Well, some St. John shoppers are already seeing effects of the inflation, and they're changing the way they shop. For Sander Hall, this means making a choice about quality.
Well, you tend to go towards the stuff that's cheaper and more reasonably priced, which tends to be the stuff that's not as good for you.
Mm-hmm. Like what? What did you get today?
So I bought some. You buy like the processed, quick, easy stuff like McLean, like the frozen dinners and stuff like that.
Others, like Christine Hines, say the price changes mean they have to put a lot more of an effort into everyday grocery shopping.
I don't have a Costco membership anymore. My aunt, when she goes down there, we usually get her to pick us up stuff, because both myself and my mother are bound by Metrobus. So she picks up the stuff when it's on sale in her neck of the woods and brings it out to us, because, you know, to get where the really good sales are, it's hard if you're dependent on the local transport system.
Not all foods are expected to follow the general pattern. The report says lettuce is the new cauliflower. Prices for the vegetable are expected to skyrocket. But for shoppers, the price fluctuations will mean they'll have to find new ways to save money. Nakshi Pandit, CBC News, St. John's.
Coming up in about 40 minutes, I'll speak with a licensed insolvency trustee about rising food costs and how people are coping financially.
Work has resumed on the Hebron oil platform after a temporary safety shutdown. ExxonMobil confirmed things were going again today. Now, work was stopped after two separate incidents last week. On Tuesday, a worker cut into a live electrical cable. There were no injuries. 3 days later, a metal object weighing about 4.5 kilograms fell in the center shaft, causing minor injuries to 3 workers.
Another St. John's heritage home was flattened over the weekend. Richmond Cottage was demolished in just under 3 hours yesterday morning. The 169-year-old home near the west end of downtown had been the subject of intense heritage debate. The owner wanted to destroy the building last year, but the city delayed granting a demolition permit to allow time for someone to buy the house. No buyers came forward, so the city allowed the demo to go ahead. The property had deteriorated over the years, with an estimated cost of almost $70,000 just to remove mold inside the structure.
About 20 volunteers searched for Courtney Lake on Saturday in the Goulds area of St. John's. Now, the 24-year-old woman has been missing for almost 3 weeks now. The group set out on ATVs to go through a wooded area hoping to find some trace of Lake. Organizers say they didn't have a specific area to search, and a couple of them did have connections to Lake. Now, she was last seen on security video walking away from her home in Mount Pearl. Police say Lake's disappearance is suspicious, and they're worried about her well-being. They're asking anyone with any information to contact them.
In national news, an Ontario judge has sentenced a former nurse to life in prison for the deaths of 8 seniors who were in her care. Elizabeth Wetlaufer was handed 8 life sentences, all to be served at the same time, with no chance of parole for at least 25 years. Today, relatives and friends of her victims spoke about the impact of her actions.
Kind of frightening, because it's not just her, it's the whole system, because we put our loved ones in their care. And to think that there's someone there that's having a bad day or is overworked or stressed out can just turn around and you know, I don't like the way this person behaved today, and take their life.
Laura Jackson is one of 19 people who read victim impact statements to the court. Then Wetlaufer spoke briefly, saying she was sorry for murdering and injuring the patients in her care. The judge described her as the shadow of death that passed over her victims. Many relatives are calling for a public inquiry. They have questions about the systems in nursing homes and how the former nurse was able to inject deadly amounts of insulin into her victims over a period of 7 years.
The U.S. is expected to introduce a second wave of hefty duties today in the softwood lumber dispute. But Atlantic Canada continues to be excluded from the investigation. Back in April, the U.S. slapped 5 Canadian companies with duties ranging from 3% to 24%. Other Canadian producers faced a tariff of just over 19%. They're meant to punish Canada for allegedly subsidizing its softwood producers. This time around, the U.S. could add another 10% for allegedly dumping products at below market values. The tariffs come as both sides are preparing to sit down for a new round of NAFTA negotiations in August.
Back in this province, 650 young singers from across Canada will kick off Canada's 150th birthday with a song in Inuktitut. Young people from Labrador's coastal communities are working with the Shalaway Youth Choir in St. John's to teach them their language. Across Canada, others are learning the same. They'll come together in Ottawa on Thursday to sing Music of the Land by Kathleen Allen, written in Inuktitut.
It's very interesting to learn Inuktitut because in Newfoundland, we don't get any opportunities to learn it because it's kind of not very widespread here, but it's very cool to learn it because it's just as important to our culture as English is.
I don't think it's very difficult. We just have to be patient, which is quite understandable. So we're just trying to share our voices with everybody else so we can be united.
Speaking of Canada's 150th birthday, a St. John's hair salon is also celebrating the big day. The Headroom is giving away free haircuts to the first 150 kids under the age of 13 who signed up. Now, all the funds raised during the haircuts will be donated to the Association for New Canadians. Take a quick look.
We wanted to do something for Canada's 150, so we decided to do what we do best, cut hair. And we decided on kids because this time of year when they're finishing school, a lot of parents want to get their kids' hair cut, so we decided to go that way with it. And so far today we're up to about 96. We've had, well, maybe about 12 per hour, 14 per hour. We've been really going through, through them. And we have stickers and flags and all kinds of things for the kids to take away with them and enjoy Canada Day and the 150 celebrations.
On set with the latest TV show shot in Newfoundland, but the island is being disguised as some exotic places.
And still ahead, this ain't no empty nest. Say hello to the newest St. John's family.
How did it feel when you found the cameras here in this room?
Disgusting. Absolutely awful. Because you're going around living your life. You're sitting on the couch. And people don't need to see that. It was awful. It's like I wanted to throw up.
And welcome back, everyone.
So we're not always used to talking about beating the heat here in this part of the province, but the splash pad finally opened in Bannerman Park. It actually opened early to help people beat the heat.
Nice. The two city splash pads, the other one is in Bowring Park, opened this weekend, 1 week ahead of schedule, and kids are certainly enjoying it today in this glorious weather, Carolyn.
Yes, they look like they're having so much fun. Isn't that great to see? Now, the weather wasn't quite that glorious in other parts of the province. This is what they faced in Springdale. I pulled this off of Twitter, thanks to Leslie Earl for posting this. This is actually some small pieces of hail were falling in Springdale today, with some thunder and some fairly heavy rain in places. So
that looks terrible.
Yeah, very different story than here in St. John's,
pad.
right? Still lots of splashing though.
We've been starved for some good weather. So.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is the system here that has been causing all that weather for central, the northeast, and for the west coast. So you can see all of the rain and thunder showers will continue into this evening, but not for too much longer. Like, it should move away fairly early this evening. So there is a risk of thunder showers for tonight for those areas, central, northeast, and the west. But tomorrow it's all going to clear off, and we're in for a very hot and sunny Tuesday, most of us anyways. But then things are going to take a bit of a turn, and we're going to get some rain on Wednesday. So let's have a look at tonight. You can see those showers move off. Few showers there in Lab City area there. Tonight we're looking at those thunder showers on the island, and temperature lows in the upper single digits, 10 degrees in St. John's, 11 in Grand Falls. Winds are much cooler up along the Labrador coast there. Some showers in Nain, and 6 degrees tonight. In St. John's, we're looking at a beautiful day. Look, we'll get up and it'll be 12 degrees with some sun and cloud, and it's going to stay nice and warm all day long. So 23 is the high tomorrow. Winds from the southwest, nice and light, just 15 kilometers an hour, and it'll stay fairly warm going into the evening as well. So I have to mention the poor folks on the Southern Avalon, because this has been the trend. You've been socked in with this fog and these cool temperatures and this drizzle for such a long time. I'm getting so many notes from people saying it seems like everyone else is enjoying summer except for the folks along the south coast. So tomorrow it's not looking any better. 11 degrees as the high there, with some drizzle and a chance of showers. But things are looking great into central, 26 degrees as the high, lots of sunshine, just pretty much sunshine everywhere. Cooler along the south coast there, 14 degrees as the high in Harbour Breton. Same story there on the west coast, looking at temperatures in the low 20s, cooler along the south there, and pretty warm actually up along the straits too. Mary's Harbour, 21 degrees and sunshine. Cartwright, 19 degrees. So it's looking good for you tomorrow as well. The only spot besides the Southern Avalon that may see some showers tomorrow, Labrador City, looking at a chance of showers, and Nain could see some showers tomorrow as well, and 12 degrees as the high there. And winds gusting to about 50 coming in from the west along the coastline there. So as I mentioned, some showers are on the way starting on Wednesday, so I'll get into the long range coming up a bit later.
Well, as we could see from Carolyn's forecast, summer is officially here in many parts of the province, and so are the tourists. Visitors are looking for a place to stay in the province without breaking the bank. Now, many people are turning to Airbnb for an affordable vacation, but local bed and breakfasts are telling the government to crack down on the unlicensed properties. Here Now's Avneet Dillon has more on that story.
It looks like any other home in St. John's, but this place has seen its fair share of visitors thanks to Airbnb. Emily Bork owns the 2-unit home and rents out the top 2 floors on the site.
It's definitely gotten very popular. It's a creative solution for a lot of people who need to do something with their home.
But owners of traditional bed and breakfasts like this one in downtown St. John's say they're losing business to Airbnb. We talked to the owner of Cantwell House about that issue.
rates have been dropping due to people staying at Airbnbs as opposed to fully licensed B&Bs. 2016, we had an increase in traffic come through St. John's, but unfortunately accommodations were down 20%.
The president of the province's Bed and Breakfast Association wrote a letter to the tourism minister asking government to crack down on unlicensed Airbnb operations.
Airbnb as a platform is amazing. It's a great place to put your business, but the fact for this city is a lot of people on there are unlicensed operators, which gives them the opportunity to give lower rates per night and things like that, where we can't do it with all of our taxes, fees, licensing fees, all that sort of thing.
Bork agrees that the platform should be regulated.
I absolutely think it should be a level playing field at this point. I can understand their frustrations. I mean, if you have, two people operating similar operations, you want them to be governed by the same regulations and you want everything to be fair.
But Airbnb's popularity isn't just about the price tag. Bork says homes like hers offer a more attractive experience for visitors.
I think people want to arrive in a city, they want to live like a local, they want to be amongst real people in real neighborhoods, they want to be going across the street to Benner Park and playing there, they don't want to feel like they're in a tourist district.
The tourism minister says the department is exploring options, but there's no word yet on how the province plans on regulating Airbnb. Avneet Dillon, CBC News, St. John's.
And that's a wrap. The CBC miniseries Caught finished filming in Newfoundland last week. Here and Now's Reagan Burden was on set to talk about the show and the future of film production on the island.
Filming a scene for a TV show with a boat. That must be a Newfoundland thing. This is Caught, the new CBC drama. But the only Newfoundland connection here is what's happening behind the scenes.
I like that as a producer, being able to use this place not just for the place that it is, which is, a strength in its own right, but being able to prove that we can do any show set anywhere here. And that's really how you kind of create a successful industry that way, right?
To make waves rock the boat, you don't need real water. The interior scenes are all shot in a warehouse in Mount Pearl. The exterior shots, with the real tropical water, will be filmed in the Dominican Republic. Caught is set in the 70s, so no smartphones or internet. That means human interaction has to be real human interaction.
And that's one of the things that appealed to me, because writing crime drama is something I've done for a long time, and everything can be fixed with a phone call, or there's triangulating cell phones or whatever, and there's none of that. There's very limited technology. And as a writer, that's really interesting because you're forcing people to be face to face.
In other shows filmed here, Newfoundlanders have played major roles in front of the camera. But for Caught, the big players are behind the scenes.
Even though Newfoundland is not a character in the show, it's a character for the production.
If you're wondering what production is next on the list, well, you'll have to wait and find out.
I'm not going anywhere, so, and this is our business. And as long as the opportunity's still here, it's challenging to shoot here, and it's challenging to have, build the infrastructure here. And there's obviously various incentives that keep us alive here, and as long as that's around, and we have no intention of making work anywhere else. We want to do it here.
Most of the crew is from Newfoundland. These people are making a living making film and television in this province. The cast of Caught is from all over. For them, it's a chance to work outside of Canada's usual production locations.
The topography is amazing, the crews are amazing. Everybody's like almost too nice. I've never worked with such nice people in my life. And it's just amazing. I would come back here in a second.
I'm already looking at real estate. I love it here. I could totally come back. I would work here anytime. I love, love, love this province.
You can catch Caught on CBC this winter. Reagan Burden, CBC News, St. John's.
Last night there were formalities.
Harry Hibbs was one of Newfoundland's first big music stars. The story behind a new remastered release of some of his best tunes. Welcome back to Here and Now. One of this province's greatest exports has a new album out, even though he died nearly 30 years ago. Harry Hibbs' 22nd album, Off the Floor, Songs from the Harry Hibbs Show, is now on store shelves and also available online. The well-known musician's release is all thanks to music historian and CBC journalist Russell Bowers. Now, Bowers was in town this week, and I chatted all things Harry Hibbs with him at O'Brien's Music in downtown St. John's.
Last night there were 4 Marys, this night there'll be but 3.
2017 marks the 75th anniversary for Harry's birth, and if he was alive, this would have been his 75th birthday this year. He died in 1989 at the age of 47. And so much of what his career has meant to people and bringing Newfoundlanders together initially is still quite relevant today. If you go back to 1968, Newfoundland's culture was largely confined to our shorelines. And within the pockets of Newfoundlanders who had emigrated to parts of Canada and New England over the course of the first half of the 20th century, when Harry came along in '68, he was able to take this music and take our culture, take our language to some extent, because he sang with a very dramatic vowel sound, you know? And he took our culture beyond our borders. And he took our culture to the rest of Canada and helped make us acceptable within the rest of Canadian culture. To the point now where we almost take it for granted, you know, that we are part of the Canadian mosaic and people understand our identity and they come here because of our identity. And Harry was ground zero for all of that. So many people have built on it since then, obviously, and had so much tremendous success coming from Newfoundland. But Harry is the start of all that. And if you go back to the 1960s, it was a time of burn your boats and getting rid of the Newfoundland identity and trying to become more quote-unquote Canadian. And as Sandy Morris, the guitarist, once said, you know, he said, along comes this fellow whose shtick is, he's a Newfoundlander singing Newfoundland songs. And he kind of helps rescue Newfoundland culture a little bit at that time and plays that role. The former Premier Frank Moores, I had a conversation with him before he passed away, and he said, you know, if it wasn't for Harry Hibbs, we wouldn't have beaten Joey Smallwood. So he credits Harry with helping to rescue and resuscitate Newfoundland culture. So that's why he's important in his time, and I think that's why he still has a legacy today.
But little cared I for a nameless grave, if I hope for eternity.
There's so much still that isn't out there because Harry was so prolific during his lifetime. I mean, this is the 22nd album now of his long career, but during his lifetime he produced a lot of material. Some of it hadn't seen the light of day, and so that was part of it, is making sure that this CD was available for people to get that access to that music. So, you know, I'm still a journalist, I'm still a music historian. It's still kind of my hobby, I suppose, to keep up with Harry. I get requests every year from different people asking, oh, I'm doing a school project, or, you know, different things, and try and keep the legacy alive. It's sort of become part of my, I guess, day-to-day life, and I've worked with the family since 2000 to make sure that Harry's legacy is not only preserved but protected and administered properly. A combination of places, mostly from CBC and the archives there, and from CHCH Hamilton, which is the television station that aired his TV shows for 7 years. And this stuff was kicking around. He did over 150 television shows in those 7 years, and only 3 of them remain. So I plucked out the audio from those old TV shows and, you know, cleaned them up for a CD launch. But then there's this stuff that he recorded as sessions for CBC over the years. And we did the digital album first, as I mentioned, and it, you know, got off to a good start. But then Lyle Drake from Avondale Music asked about putting out a CD. Now, there was one song on a CBC documentary called Newfoundlanders in Galt. And I had plucked it out and turned it into like a song length kind of track, but it was a little bit damaged. So I couldn't put it out on the digital album. I didn't have the expertise to fix it up. But when I gave it to Lyle, I said, if you can fix this up, I'll give it to you as an exclusive for the CD. So it was kind of fun because it had never seen the light of day in any way, shape, or form. And so we were able to create a music video for it and a proper single, just like they do in the big leagues. And again, it just helps create a little bit of buzz around the album and create some interest in that there's something brand new from an artist who isn't putting out work anymore.
Well, when Harry Hibbs' star was rising, another Newfoundland musician was already a big name.
Sweetheart, it's time I will bid you goodbye. Murmur to you one day.
The unmistakable sound of John White. He was a household name for 40+ years. He starred on CBC's All Around the Circle, and for 20 years, he opened the annual St. John's Folk Festival with the Ode to Newfoundland. John White passed away in 1998. Now, this weekend, the city unveiled a plaque commemorating the man with the distinct voice and unique personality. You can find the tribute to John White in Bannerman Park, the home of the annual Folk Festival. After the break, we're cranking up the cute factor. Meet the province's latest video sensation.
This is The National.
A series of attacks that have been simply horrifying.
The Vimy Ridge experience, now you can be here too, virtually.
Good evening again from the Berlin Wall. Yesterday, the memorials for Nelson Mandela were pretty formal. Thanks for watching. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching.
And welcome back to Here and Now. Well, it's a beautiful, feel-good opportunity for Newfoundland Power and entertaining for the rest of us. The power company built a nesting platform at its Virginia Waters facility near Stavanger Drive. It also set up a live webcam. This is live right now that we're watching, and it's broadcasting to Osprey and their 3 growing chicks on the internet. But as Here and Now's Mark Quinn reports, there's a disclaimer.
A couple of eggs and a chick. That was Friday. By Monday, the gang's all here. 3 Osprey chicks and 2 parents coming and going. This reality TV is playing out on a platform high above this substation.
Often a strategy is to put up a pole nearby with a platform on it and hope the ospreys will use that. And it worked in this case.
These birds are amazing long-distance athletes and sublime navigators. This year, this bird was tracked from here to South America. Somehow it knew how to fly the safest overland route.
It's almost like someone in a small plane with a map looked at the best way to get to Venezuela from Newfoundland.
Now, they're a growing family settled down in the east end of the city, a heartwarming example of nature at its nurturing best. But there is a disclaimer below the web feed, because even with cute little chicks, what happens here may not be appropriate for all viewers.
Well, nature is not always a pretty sight.
Sometimes the wildlife gets, well, a little wild. McTavish watched another bird cam in the States where the parent birds couldn't feed their young.
Ospreys couldn't find fish because of the flooding, so people got to watch the two or three young in the nest die of starvation.
So far, nature is being nice. If everything continues to go well, these chicks should be flying by August. And then, if they can navigate like their mother, they'll be eating South American sushi by the time we're all shoveling again. Mark Quinn, CBC News, St. John's.
The weather update is brought to you by Belltone Hearing Service St. John's, helping the world hear better.
I don't know about all of you, but I can't get enough of watching that live shot of that growing family, and let's hope that they make out better than some of the others that we heard about.
Yeah. Some quality reality TV, unlike that Kardashian garbage that people watch. That's something
fun. And this is how they're doing right now. This is the live shot here of the nest. And if you're interested in going to see this for yourself, it's on the Newfoundland Power website. I think we have that to go on the screen there, but if not, it's just newfoundlandpower.com. And yeah, you can search for Osprey Nest Cam on that, and you should find it. So.
No, great idea. We played some of this on Friday when the first chick was born, so we've been there. We've been following this from the beginning.
Yeah.
And by we, I mean you here at the desk, because I haven't until recently.
Well, I just wanted to start off by showing you this beautiful photo. This was sent in to us from Clifford Doran, and this is of Cape Race. And I just wanted to show you, because I mentioned earlier about the southern Avalon and all of the drizzle and fog and everything that's happening down there. So this was yesterday. He says it's been like this for like the past 6 days or so. It's a beautiful photo though. So tomorrow, more of the same down here, 11 degrees as the high with some drizzle. St. John's looking beautiful, 23 degrees with sun and cloud. As you get into central parts of the island, 26 as the high tomorrow with sun. Sunny as well along the south coast there, but a little bit cooler. 14 degrees as the high there tomorrow. Looking up to Labrador, Nain could see some showers tomorrow, and 12 degrees, and also a chance of showers in Lab City tomorrow, but fairly warm at 16 degrees as the high. So let's look ahead to see what's coming on Wednesday. So this is Tuesday night into Wednesday morning, and it's going to be cloudy but fairly clear until this point. This is at around 4 o'clock on Wednesday. So Wednesday afternoon is when the showers will hit the island and parts of Labrador. And you can see that it's going to be fairly heavy there. We don't have amounts yet, but it could be 20 to 30 millimeters. So it's still a little bit early to know that yet. So we're looking at periods of rain in the east, 20 degrees as the high on Wednesday, and 19, 20 degrees as the temperature for the whole island with a chance of showers there. And also in Labrador, showers throughout the day up there as well, but still fairly warm, 19 degrees. So looking ahead now to Wednesday night, it will continue through Wednesday night. This is 10 o'clock in the evenings, and we're still seeing some rain and patchy rain over in Labrador. It gets heavier as we get into Thursday morning and up along the northern peninsula there. So we're going to be looking at a fairly cloudy day here in the east, but chance of showers there in central and on the west coast with 22 as the high in central. We're looking at 22 degrees in the east with cloudy skies on Thursday and chance of showers in Labrador with temperatures in the mid-teens there. So This is the long-range forecast. You can see lots of showers coming through in the week. It's still a bit early days yet. Temperatures cooling down a little bit, but overall not too bad. Labrador, hopefully this will pan out here. That's a nice Saturday and Sunday for you, but it is still early and some showers there in Western Labrador.
Time to meet our young athlete of the day. This is 3-year-old London Holloway from Grand Falls, Windsor.
London takes creative dance at the Leslie Oak School of Dance.
When she isn't dancing, London enjoys swimming, soccer, and skating. Congratulations, London. You are our young athlete of the day.
With food prices on the rise, people everywhere are watching their food budgets. But for some people, making their money go further has its limits. Up next, I'll speak with an insolvency trustee.
Welcome back to Here and Now. Some breaking news for you. A fire has broken out in the Mundy Pond area of St. John's. Now, reporter Ryan Cook is at the scene and says it appears a house is on fire on Froud Avenue off of Cashin Avenue. The house is part of a multi-unit complex. We'll have more details for you as this situation develops.
As we've heard, people are bracing themselves for a rise in food costs. They're already trying to curb that growing food bill. All food categories will see a hike in prices, with the biggest increase for meats. It's something Sean Stack sees as an insolvency trustee. Thanks very much, Sean, for joining me here. I wanted to talk about the food budget. People come to you when they're in financial trouble. How big a factor is their food budget?
Their food budget's huge, and it's a concern for many people. One of the first things that we do when I sit down with somebody is we walk through their monthly budget to see just where their money's going. And once we get through their rent or their mortgage and the vehicle payment and heat and light and all these necessities, there's often very little left for people's food. Some people just say to me, whatever's left, and it might just be $150 or $200 a month for a family of 2 or 3 people.
$150 a month.
In some cases, I had one person tell me, a single person, that his food budget was between $50 and $100 a month because that's all that was left.
That sounds incredible. We're not talking here about making choices to get cheaper cuts of meat. They're making really big choices here, aren't they?
Absolutely. They're skipping meals. It's not a question of, do I buy the chicken the day that it's on sale? It's they just can't afford healthy food, the meat or the healthy vegetables and the fruit.
So who are these people who are feeling the squeeze? Is it a particular age group of people, or is it the gamut?
It's the gamut, really. You see with seniors who might just have as an income old age security and CPP. So a couple may have an income of between $1,500 and $2,000 a month, which once you get through, again, rent and these other necessities, doesn't leave much for food. The other place where you see it is with a couple who might have had a one-income household, and now they've lost that job and they're struggling to put things together on EI, which is just over $1,800 a month.
So you might have had somebody who was making $100,000 and then all of a sudden the job is gone and they're down to that little amount of money.
That's right.
That's a big adjustment for people. How are they coping? Like, what are they saying to you when they're in your office?
They're stressed. They don't know what they're going to do. They're afraid that their EI might run out and where they'll turn. They're looking to whether or not they can go back to Alberta, or if they haven't been there, whether it now may be an option, because they need to find an income. They're looking to put food on the table and keep a roof above their heads.
Are people saying to you that they're going to food banks?
Some do. Some are embarrassed to mention it, even when they're speaking with me about possibly filing bankruptcy. It's a sensitive subject, but if my clients aren't going to food banks, then I'm not sure who is.
When you look ahead, we've just got the news last week on Muskrat Falls, and that our electricity rates could double when Muskrat Falls is on, although the government says they're looking at mitigation factors, but still it's going to go way up. What do you see when you look down the road?
With rising food prices and the expected increase in electricity rates, I think a lot of people are going to find themselves in crisis mode, because people with fixed incomes or who've lost their jobs, they just don't have the budget capacity to absorb those increases.
Is insolvency or bankruptcy the only choice for some people?
Well, it's an option. It helps people deal with the debt that they can't manage, payments that they can no longer afford to make, but it doesn't improve their ability to budget for basics of rent and heat and light and food if they're on those low incomes. So sometimes it might be a matter of moving out of their community or out of the province to find a job that will help.
Sean, there's no way of sugarcoating this, is it?
No, unfortunately not. No, it's a tough spot for a lot of people.
Now to Ontario, where the province is overhauling legislation governing the sale of tickets for concerts and other events. The Attorney General introduced the changes, saying consumers want the government to take action.
Between bots, lack of transparency, and unfair prices on resale sites, there is a pervasive sentiment that the system is rigged.
The new rules will be introduced in the fall. If passed, they will cap the resale ticket markup at 50% of the face value. They will also ban so-called ticket bots, the software that allows scalpers to scoop up the best seats to shows in just seconds. The province is also promising new enforcement tools, including high fines and more inspectors, but it's still unclear how it will enforce compliance from sellers based outside of the province.
Searching continued in Columbia today for survivors and victims of a boating accident. A tourist boat packed with more than 150 people capsized yesterday on a lake near the city of Medellin. A flotilla of recreational boats and jet skis rushed to help. At least 6 people are known to have died. 15 are still missing. Scuba divers have been searching the waters. There's no word on what caused the boat to tip over.
He became notorious for jacking up the price of a life-saving drug by 5,000%. Now, jury selection has begun in the New York trial of Martin Shkreli. The former pharmaceutical CEO and otherwise known as the pharmaceutical bro is going on trial in an unrelated matter for federal securities fraud. Shkreli has defied his lawyer's advice about keeping a low profile. He says he's excited and can't wait for the trial to begin. He famously smirked his way through Capitol Hill testimony about his drug pricing. And then he later tweeted that members of Congress were, and I quote, imbeciles.
Well, it's something we've seen on our shores before, but in the Gulf of St. Lawrence, it's being called an unprecedented event. In the past 3 weeks, 6 North Atlantic right whales have been found dead in the area. It is a loss that amounts to more than 1% of the endangered species population. Sarah Levitt reports.
It's not a sight marine biologists ever want to see. When a dead North Atlantic right whale was first spotted 60 kilometers off the coast of the Magdalen Islands, the news was upsetting but not dire. But now, weeks later, 5 more whales have been found dead.
This is very much a concern. This species is one of the most endangered large whales. The latest estimates is approximately 525 individuals. So we're already looking at 6 lost whales, over 1% of the population. This is a real blow to have lost so many animals.
Since the deaths, the Department of Fisheries and Oceans, as well as marine biologists and other experts, have been working full-time. First to track down the carcasses in the vast waters of the Gulf, then to collect biological samples.
There are a number of organizations.
The goal now is to retrieve the body of the mammals that can be up to 17 meters long.
With an animal of this size, and given where they are, they're floating out to sea, it's a monumental task in the sense of having to bring that huge 50 to 60 ton animal ashore, which takes a long time and has to go very slowly for safety reasons. And then you have to have all those people on the beach ready to basically start doing this investigation.
It's urgent now to figure out how these whales died before more suffer the same fate. Sarah Levitt, CBC News, Montreal.
As the old saying goes, practice makes perfect. A few hundred basketball players showed up to Carl English's free basketball camp this past Friday.
English put players through the regular drills, including practicing passing.
Now, from all accounts of the attendees, the camp was a big success, or one might say, a slam dunk.
Of course.
We'll be right back.
An update now on the fire in St. John's. It has destroyed a housing unit on Froud Avenue.
Smoke could be seen billowing over the city just after 6 o'clock. Now, neighbors at the scene have told CBC that it appears everyone has gotten out safely, but that has not been confirmed. So please stay tuned to our website, cbc.ca/NL, for all the latest details.
Wow. Yeah, looks like firefighters have their hands full with that one for sure. Before we leave you tonight, just a quick recap on the forecast for tomorrow and for Wednesday. We're looking at a 23-degree day in St. John's tomorrow, mid-20s in Central, and 21 as the high tomorrow in Corner Brook, and looking lovely as well in Happy Valley Goose Bay tomorrow. And I just wanted to end off with this lovely shot. This is up in New West Valley. Isn't that a great combination of beautiful things?
A lot going on there. New West Valley is such a beautiful part of the province.
It is.
Yeah, so thank you, Linda Kenny, for sending that in.
So just before we leave you tonight, we want to ask, have you made your Canada Day plans yet? Well, this coming Saturday, the country turns 150, and there are events happening all over the place.
The biggest, obviously, is happening in Ottawa, and that's where you'll find the Shalloway Choir along with the Labrador Youth Choir and many others.
And we caught up with the choir today at their rehearsal.
And we're going to... going to leave you with that lovely sound this evening. Enjoy your evening, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.
Good night.
Good night.